we are live. What's up, Dave?
Hey boy, how's it going?
It is going well, so well. I forgot to put the fucking banner for this. I just thought of it near the end of that intro. That's the reason I play it, to give me like a minute and a half of like, did I make sure I did everything? And right near the end of it, I was like, oh shit, that's right. And I remember the year because we were just talking that this movie is over 20 something years old, which
Crazy,
is insane. I can't believe that.
crazy. Yeah,
All right, now we got it.
there it is.
We got Jason X. What's up, Joe? Won't be able to make it. That's fine, buddy. Just hopping in, saying hey. That's cool. What's up, Mac? Didn't plan on watching it. Yeah, we didn't plan on it until like a week ago. I
No,
don't think
we
anyone
literally
plans on it. Mike, what's up, Mike?
How you doing, Mike? You're
You
right,
gonna
mate.
watch some? You gonna watch some Jason X with us? Jason goes to space, which it looks like Chucky's gonna be going to space soon too.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, yeah.
What's up, Zodiac? Yeah, he sounds like he. I mean, it sounds like Dom Mancini is kind of iffy on it. Hey, man, because he's like begging like the fan base and like saying, "Are you sure, like that you want Chucky to go to space?" Like I saw a post of his on Twitter. He said, "Like, are you guys? Do you personally really want Chucky in space?" Like, so it sounds like he's really trying to like play it safe.
Well,
Be like,
I
"All right,
think
make sure the majority is cool with this before I make any ideas."
I think what he's doing is he wants him to go to space. So he's like saying it to them. It's like, are you sure you want him? Because I'll put him there. Oh my, the horror.
Oh, there you go. You said the movie, not our commentary, but whatever. I'm sure he means both.
We'll help you, mate.
I
We'll
mean,
help you.
this movie is a blast in a way. It's just you know what to expect. When this movie came into theaters, when I saw it, everyone was having a good time for the most part watching this. I didn't remember many people being mad or like upset with the movie, because this is pretty much exactly what I expected when they said Jason was going to space.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
think,
not a concept you can take seriously. So
oh,
you
he
know
comes
that it's already going to just be a crazy balls to the wall film. And that's exactly what it is.
The thing is, though, mate, it's got to part 10 at this point. Why are you taking it seriously?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're already fucking a dozen. I mean, yeah, exactly. 10 movies in here. It's
Exactly.
time to switch it up a bit, which they tried doing with part 5 with the whole copycat thing. And everyone hated that, that
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Here's the Look movie link in the chat if anyone wants to use that to watch along. And then this was his last, Kane Hodder's last role as Jason, until he got dicked over by Ronnie Yu in the studios for Freddy vs. Jason.
I thought that was a massive misstep. As much as I do enjoy Freddy versus Jason,
Oh yeah, I know. I would love to have Kane there. That was such a disservice to him.
Yeah, me too, mate. I would love to have seen Kane Hodder's Jason from like looking like part 7 in there.
Yeah, let the bodies hit the floor in the soundtrack. I remember that. It was one of the trailers or something, right? Wasn't it? Yeah, maybe it was one of the trailers. Or maybe was it Jason X or was it Freddy vs. Jason? I remember it, but that song in a trailer from one of them. I think it was. I think it might have been Jason X.
I think it could have been Jason X. It sounds like Jason X.
Early 2000s, 2001. That's around when that song was popular. All right, you ready?
I am. Oh, I am so ready.
Are you super uber ready though? Is the thing. Are you uber Jason ready?
I am super uber Jason ready for this.
All right. Anyone in the chat who's watching, I'll do a countdown. Anyone needs a timestamp at any point, just let us know. So 3, 2, 1, blast off into space with Jason Goes to Space. I just love calling it Jason Goes to Space so much that when I bring this movie up, I'll call it that at first, or go to call it that and say, well, I mean, Jason X. No problem, man. Nothing happens in the first few minutes except for credits.
Yeah, except for really bad CGI. I'm just going over it. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but fine.
But yeah, I mean, they tried rebooting ideas from like the fifth movie on with this, because then we had Jason as a zombie in the sixth movie going forward, and we had Carrie Powers for Tina in seven.
Yeah.
Then we went to Manhattan for a full minute in part eight.
At least the thing is with this as well, when they say he goes to space, he generally goes to space. We don't have like an hour
Yeah,
on
right.
the
Like he's not there in space for 1 second.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay.
He's in space for like 5 minutes and then that's it.
That's right, man, because you were 2 months now as a member, so you got cool sackhead Jason. You're not a pussy Pamela Voorhees no more. We all love Pamela. The scientist in the eye reflection. That's a cool shot, I guess.
It's a cool shot, yeah. So I'm not too sure with it. Like, is Jason still kind of like a zombie in this one? He is, isn't he? He doesn't like
Yes.
look.
Yeah. I mean, this is like they go like how many years into the future? 500 years into the future or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he's like still like he doesn't evolve right over time. Like he wouldn't like change from a zombie into like some other thing.
But the one thing with this movie is as well is like when you look at him in like especially part 7 and a little bit of part 8. I don't like the way he looks in part 8, but especially
I don't either. Yeah, I don't like part 8 look.
He's a proper zombie, proper.
Yeah,
you know,
I like 7 is my favorite look of him.
Mine too, mate. Mine too.
It's
6
a lot
and
of people. It's a lot of people's.
Yeah, part 6 and part 7 for me. But
Yeah,
when you look,
no,
at
he looks
Jason,
great in part 6 too.
when you look at Jason in this movie, he kind of looks human. He doesn't look like a zombie. He's got like the hair, and if you look at it, his eyes are normal and stuff.
Yeah, it's a different look for sure. Then, like, especially when he turns into Uber Jason, then it's just a completely futuristic look.
Yeah, and I've never liked.
I like his look. I like his look. The pre Uber look in this. It's not bad.
Do you know what, mate? I don't mind it actually. I think it's better than some of the others.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of seeing Jason's eyes. Never.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Same with Michael. I don't like the same thing with Michael.
Same. That's what I
barely barely see his eyes in the original, and I love that.
Yeah, and that's why I like with the newer Halloween ones. It's like you don't see his eyes in the mask; they're blacked out.
Yeah, that's one thing they did get right. Because I don't like an H2O where like you see the skin around his eyes and his eyes, like that looks so bad. Like I don't like any of that.
It's not great.
A few of the other later ones have the same thing that you can see his eyes very clearly. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
He's supposed to have the fucking blackest eyes. Like, so I don't like when you can see his eyes like clear as day.
But at least that's one thing they did all right with Resurrection is if you did see his eyes, they were dark, they were black, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
But this is what I don't like.
He looks much better in Resurrection than in H2O. Much better, even though it doesn't look great, and it's leagues better than the prior film.
Yeah. This is the one thing I don't like with this Jason Voorhees is that they zoom in and then you can see his eye. Look, I don't like that. You shouldn't be able to see that.
Yeah. And you could it looks like Kane is like very, very sad. Like,
yeah,
for some reason. So I said he looks like he's sad he's going to space. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to see any type of emotion in them at all.
Not at all.
And like that's a cool shot there because you don't see his eyes at all, and the shadows are on his face. That's much better than that opening shot we get with his eye just in your face.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, even though he's all chained up, I would still not go over to him with a fucking blanket.
I would go nowhere near this place. And this is a fucking research facility in Camp Crystal Lake. I don't think so. I've seen that town many times throughout this series. I don't care how much in the future it is. There's no research facility at Camp Crystal Lake.
There's no.
But yet there is in this movie, though. So, anytime they want to move any of these killers, something goes terribly wrong.
Well, otherwise we wouldn't have a movie. If it went smooth, it'd be over in 5.
They could think of something better, though, after a while. I mean, Halloween started that way, too. Let's move the patient. A
Oh,
few
Halloween.
Halloweens start that way.
Yeah. Halloween 4 especially.
Yeah, in that series, after a few movies, they should know. We're just gonna lock this guy up and never move him for any reason.
Never move him. There's no point in moving him ever. Just leave him there.
Yeah, every time we seem to move him, he seems to escape somehow. So we
Yeah,
probably should tempt fate again.
that's it.
Jason hasn't been captured nowhere near as many as I don't think any times really.
No.
He's just been killed
And I would
again,
love to,
like sort of.
and I would love to know how the fuck he got out of them chains as well. Like how?
Yeah, I know. He's waiting for a Corey goes to space slasher movie.
Oh yeah.
I hope we never see anything sort of resembles that.
I hope we never see Corey again, to be completely honest with you.
Who the fuck is Corey again? He's that guy, the killer kid, right, from the last Halloween.
That's him.
All right, yeah, that's how much I don't even remember Halloween ends. Me and Mike purged that movie out of our heads like for 2 hours after we finished watching it. Most of my memories of it stayed there with the stream.
Jason Voorhees has just fucked everybody up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This movie does have, in my opinion, the hottest girl in this franchise on the spaceship. Not the main chick here.
Oh, right.
There's two that look very similar, and I confused them when I did the series, and I was looking at them. I was like, oh, wait, that's a completely different girl than this other one here, because there's two that look similar, but I forget her name. But
I will try and pick him out when we get there.
Oh, I know I'll pick her out. She's the one that gets sucked through the hole later in the movie when there's like a hole in the spaceship and it's sucking everything out. She gets sucked in. That girl.
Yeah. She's nice.
She looks like the girl who tries to escape and fuck all her friends over in the space pod that she doesn't know how to drive apparently and explodes herself.
That's right.
Those are the two that look like each other.
One of my favorites, the one that gets her head frozen and then smashed.
Yeah, that's great. That is such a great kill. That's in my top 5 kills in the series, probably. And to see Corey's head on Michael's mantle.
In the new city. Yes, me too, mate.
Timestamp, I'm at like 8 minutes and change. Like 8:10, 8:11, 8:12, 8:13. 13, like Friday.
Yeah, I'm seconds around the same.
Yeah. It like buffers sometimes, so I gotta like hit the skip ahead 5-second thing. I mean, this girl holds her own against Jason.
Yeah, she gives him, give him a bit of an ass kicking, to be fair.
And a good idea. Freeze his ass.
Just
completely freeze him so that way he's contained. I don't know why no one has thought of this earlier in the series. I guess maybe they weren't that advanced in the 80s and shit on cryogenic freezing. I'm sure the government was if they were involved. And then she ends up freezing her ass too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, Mike, that's probably the most memorable scene in this movie. Is the liquid nitrogen kill. Everybody knows that kill. I mean, I guess that's something really you can only get in a movie like this. Because any of the camps in the early movies aren't going to have liquid nitrogen just flying around. So this is kind of like the only reason we were able to get that cool kill was the premise of this movie.
I just don't know why in other movies, especially at the end of like part 6 going into part 7 of Friday the 13th, for whatever reason, they leave Jason's body in the lake, which is stupid if you really think about it, right? Just leave him there.
Just leave him there. Let somebody else deal with it in a few years.
Yeah, just leave him there. Bring him back up and just dismember him. Just cut him into the tiniest pieces ever.
Right, you would think. I mean, he's not like Victor Crowley that like he comes back as a ghost, like no matter what you do to his body.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of that.
Just cut him into pieces and then burn him. That's him. That's him gone.
Yeah. Burning kills pretty much everything. We are at 10 minutes, 25 seconds, 26, 27, 28, 10 and a half. pretty sure it's 500 years in the future,
It's something crazy. Something crazy like that. Yeah.
like 2,400 or something like that.
I think it was only just recently or this year that hockey got outlawed in 2024. Apparently.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a funny joke actually. He says like if you're a fan, you got like 2 years left or something, or something like that. It's a funny gag. And all this time in the future, we still got morons like
Yes.
the captain of the ship, or whoever, the captain of all these kids, the teacher, who says he just wants his machete back. It's all fine.
Back, yeah. Like no
Still
one's
fuck
ever learned anything.
yeah, 2,455. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
That's it.
And then we have the kid from Harold and Kumar in this movie, the pothead kid. I mean, they're all potheads in that movie. But the kid at the college who has the hippie kid who has all the big ass
Yeah.
bag of weed, he's in this movie. He's doing that little simulation game with the other guy later.
You would just, and this is the thing as well. Why
thaw him out?
Why?
Why, dude? Yeah, right. And look at the pose he's in. Why? Like just looking at him, he's holding the machete, ready to strike. He has a hockey mask on. That's not somebody you want to like thaw out for any reason, but yet they do.
There you go. Used in a sport outlawed in 2024.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. But you just wouldn't. If I was the supervisor of that crew, I'd be like, well, we fucking leave that there. There's no point bringing that onto the fucking ship. That stays.
Did you see that ice hockey fellow who died on the ice after getting fly kicked in the neck with hockey? No, I did not.
Yes.
That
was in the UK, apparently.
That's terrible and hysterical at the same time. Mostly hysterical, but terrible too.
I mean, I would bring her on board, the frozen woman. She comes up.
Yeah, no, she's not a threat. Look at her, like she's fine looking, like both, like literally and figuratively, like.
Yeah.
The other guy, Jason, does not look good. He looks ready to kill anybody, like in a moment's notice.
Yeah, the guy with a hockey mask.
You might as well have a sign hanging from him saying, "Don't thaw me out. I'm a fucking mass murderer."
Yeah,
that's pretty much like the message they're already getting.
Should have a board on him saying, "Don't bring me on the ship. I'll kill everyone."
That's pretty like what it says. Just looking at him.
I mean, even frozen, he manages to chop someone's arm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. He's fucking frozen. He already cut the hippie dude's arm off. Their logic, I guess, is just, well, machete's just sharp. Shit happens.
Well, yeah.
Then we got the android bot here that the guy's fucking. That's the only reason anyone ever builds a robot that's realistic looking of another sex. Is to fuck it, and that's fine. That's cool. If you got that technology, go with it.
Listen, mate, I'm not gonna lie, I would be.
Yeah, it's the future. You got the technology, go for it. But he's fucking that robot. Don't anyone mistake that fact.
He's making that robot do all sorts of fucking.
But he doesn't have realistic nipples on her, if I recall, for some reason. There's like a little combo they have. She like doesn't have nipples or something.
He's fallen off.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess he was fine. At 99% completion. The spaceship looks cool, though. I really wish we got the Grendel map in the game.
Yeah.
So we saw some of it. There was like that whole cabin. You played the game?
Yes.
There was that. Remember, like the cabin when you searched the cabin, and then it finally led to like when you finish like the whole like puzzle, it led to the Grendel, and you see like a little bit of the ship. That was awesome. And then we just never got it because of the lawsuit and everything in that game.
It would have been awesome.
Yeah, to have Uber Jason.
Yeah,
because there would have been like awesome like environmental kills that you would have been able to do. that are specific to just the snap, like of the
Oh,
spaceship.
yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Just with all the like technology and crazy shit they can put on the ship, like there would have been a lot of environmental kills that were just awesome and unique to this. But we didn't get it. Instead, we got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game years later.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I need to play that. I need to grab it actually.
I have it still. I got it off Xbox Game Pass. I played like 2 rounds. I set this aside, and I just never played again. So
It's
it wasn't like good enough to grasp me instantly, so I never went back to it. Maybe sometime soon, because I know Barbara Crampton just got added, and Damien Maffei got added as a character. They're adding, and they're trying to get a Texas Chainsaw 2 characters in there. Get Caroline Williams is stretching there, so that'll be cool if they can do that.
I just thought it was just a shame with the Friday the 13th one because it looked great.
I know it looked awesome, and they captured just the feeling of playing as Jason, hiding from Jason, like really well.
The problem is it was just very buggy. A lot.
Oh yeah, the bugs were terrible. Hey Rosalia, how you doing?
Yeah. You're right.
How's everything? We're just watching some Jason in space. He just arrived in space.
We are
not thought out yet.
No,
we're just hanging out with the guy's fuckbot and the captain of the ship and stuff.
Fuckbot.
That girl right there, the one who just said that line or whatever, like she's the hottest girl in my opinion this whole series.
She's cute. Why would you?
And then there's one who looks just like her though, and there's the one who's like that. We didn't get that weird nipple scene right yet. It's coming with the teacher's getting his nipples twisted when he's fucking around with the student. It's not that girl. It's the other one who looks just.
I know the one you're about. Oh, here's my favorite. Here's the blonde one that gets her head smashed.
The liquid nitro woman.
Yeah, I think she's cute.
Oh yeah, they pick good cast for this movie. They stay true to the Friday formula for sure.
It was definitely for their acting ability as well.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely.
They do a good job making you hate this guy too. The head teacher dude, the machete's back. He's all fine. That guy.
He's a proper dickhead. That's why.
Oh yeah, they do a good job. I mean, that looks all right. Like the CGI, whatever that is, like regenerating the cells. Looks all right. Doesn't look great, but it doesn't look terrible.
No, it's passable, mate. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what this like? When this film just reminds me of like an old sci-fi channel movie from back in like 2000, like back in the 2000s. That's what this movie reminds me of.
Yeah, no, it's passable for sure.
Yeah,
she had to pass her class. I know, man. I mean, with desperate times, you're right. Desperate measures, like twisting your teacher's nipples while fucking them. Chucky is not Mastini's brain. Oh, absolutely. Dwarf. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame Brad for wanting to be done with it at this point. I mean, it's been decades of him voicing Chucky.
That is a fantastic idea, by the way. Put Chucky in Luca's Chocolate Factory.
That is actually, I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. What they just did, like they just had the thing drop on HBO, like the prequel to Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
So that's fresh and new. So I could see them like doing a crossover. I mean, they could do whatever with Chucky at this point. Like,
yeah,
it's past the point of like no return. They jumped the shark a long while ago, and I'm fine with it.
Oh,
they can do whatever they want with him. He's in the fucking White House this season. Next, he's going to space. Next, he'll be like a circus trainer or a zookeeper and stuff. And I'm fine. Do whatever you want with Chucky. He has that personality.
He does.
You could take him anywhere. Almost like it's different than Freddy, even though because those are like the two slasher icons we have that speak and have like personality and charisma.
Yeah.
It's different with Freddy though, because he's supposed to be a lot more terrifying. Chucky was never really scary. Like him,
No,
he had one-liners from the first movie. Like when he "fuck you," when the couple says that's an ugly-looking doll or something. Like he always had a sense of humor to him. So that's
yes,
why, and it progressively got more and more like with each
yeah.
movie. So it's more acceptable for me, at least, like what they do with him.
Oh,
This girl's like getting real off on looking at the eyeball.
oh, it's really in there.
Nah, she's like really like staring into that, like it's the abyss
Yeah,
staring back into her.
she loves that. Ugh, that's disgusting.
That is a great point right there. Why is he called Carrot Top when Carrot Tops are green? That is an excellent point. I've never thought of. And I've put Carrot Top into a fake trailer before. Still never thought of it. He's a charisma vacuum. Jason. It's funny. Wow, this woman wakes up and smacks the dickhead immediately.
Gives gives him a proper good whack as well.
I mean, I don't blame her. She's naked on a towel, just woke up after 500
Yeah.
years. And this creepy ass dude is just staring over
That'd be me.
her. I was just making sure you're all right. Go back to bed. Be another 500 years. Can you imagine though, like waking up in the future and it's been like 500, 1,000, 10,000 years, and you don't remember anything, but you're still the same age and everything. Anything you knew is gone. That's trippy shit.
It's trippy shit, but you know what? The way this world is right now, I wouldn't find it such a bad thing.
I wouldn't either. I'd kind of be like, all right, like, what do we got going on in the future? Yeah. Unless it's like a Matrix situation where like the whole world is destroyed and robots are
Yeah,
everywhere and shit, and like you got to go into a fake world just to escape like the real atrocities. Then I'd rather like not go through any of that. But if it's a good looking future, if it's cool, the spaceships like Star Wars esque, I'll be
mhm.
cool with that the rest of my life.
Yeah, I'll be quite happy with that myself. If it was like Futurama, I'd be quite happy with that.
Yeah, see, like that's a fun future. Like Ash at the end of at the end of Ash for Evil Dead, the alternate ending when he like sees London and shit like that, like in ruins. That's a future you don't want to wake up in.
Yeah, the original ending of weirdly enough,
Yeah,
man, when that came out on video for us in the UK, that was our ending.
that was the ending. Yeah, that was the ending over there.
Yeah, that was the ending for us.
Oh
Was the
shit!
when he
Oopsie.
wakes up in the in the future in London and all that.
Yeah, that's gotta be weird seeing that ending first.
Yeah,
Seeing that one first has got to be weird compared
that
to
was it.
us
And
that
then
saw the other one first.
yeah, and then obviously like it changed over time, and then at some point it changed for us as well. So in the UK it became like what you guys had when he went back to S Mart and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that ending, then we wouldn't have the whole "Hail to the King, baby" line.
Yeah,
'Cause we only get that in that ending.
yeah. It's
I
true.
like I like the other ending. I like both endings to that. Even though how the fuck did Ash get back to the US after that? Like in the future,
Doesn't make any sense.
there's no he found a boat maybe that was not destroyed. And he surfed. He was able to navigate the ocean blue to get. I don't know about any of that. I'll just switch you guys to my TV again. No problem, mate. And holy crap! First time watching Scream Factory Blu-ray. Looks nice. So we got confirmation the Blu-ray Scream Factory of Jason X looks good. I wish I collected more, or I had like any left physical media. I got like 20 old DVDs maybe.
I love it with this guy. Like I'm sorry, but it's been so long into the future now where they're in, and this guy knows who Jason Voorhees is. It's like no one would have a fucking clue who this guy is. No one.
Yeah, no, after this
No
long,
one.
I doubt that there'd be any record of it. I mean, there's no record of him before. Like, It was like barely a record of him before this movie because they just invented that they knew who he was and they captured him for this movie.
Exactly. He goes Voorhees. It's not
I mean, in
Jason
Jason Goes to
Voorhees.
Hell, he's kind of known because of the house. And Jason Goes to Hell, like, and Elias,
Yeah.
his father and stuff, and the house exists still. So, like, he's kind of known then too. But he's just like a legend before that. Except for the people that run into him who know him as a legend and they get murdered. So they're not around to tell a tale, though. But yeah, you're right here. Like his head and everything looks like human-esque.
It
It
does,
doesn't
yeah.
look zombie like
No,
the other movies before this.
that's what I mean, man. And he has hair again. And
Yeah,
stuff
like
like
it's
a
white,
weird different.
regular white skin kind of until they
Yeah.
take the mask off. Yeah, he looks all fucked up like usual. But
It's horrible the way she has to like cut around the mask as well just to get the mask off his face because it's just been like fucking.
and oh, dude, I just noticed he's in a dress too. I never noticed the teachers in a dress during that scene.
Oh yeah.
I never noticed that. I guess it's just to draw so much attention to his nipples because she's twisting the hell out of him. I never noticed he was in a fucking purple dress. That's
You never
funny.
noticed that?
Nah. I've only seen this maybe like a half dozen times maybe over the
Daddy,
years.
daddy likes it hard. Daddy wants it hard.
That's so funny. You pass.
Look, listen though. I'm being honest with you. She could happily ride me while doing that. I'd wear a dress
Oh
for
yeah,
her.
well, she can do whatever she wants. Nipple twisting is like on the less weird spectrum compared to what could happen. We're about to get our awesome liquid nitrogen.
Oh, God bless her. I mean, he kills the most fucking beautiful.
Hey, he always does that with every movie. He always kills them
Yeah.
like in order of like a most attractive, like to least.
Yeah.
This is what
I
he
mean,
does. He kills off the best first.
I mean, just look at them little butt cheeks just sat on that stool. Oh, God. I wish I was.
Yeah, see, she got no nipples. They're like they're not right or something. Like, yeah, they fall right off like pepperonis. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't he do that right? I love how the robot. She wants nipples because Janessa has nipples.
Yeah. Oh, just for, oh, there you go, straight off.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like a few seconds out of you. All right, we should be.
Vanessa has them.
Yeah, Janessa has them. I want nipples. I don't blame you, robot. Us humans, we get jealous of shit too.
That's very true. Do you know what, robot? You look fine.
I see nipples all the time. I wish I had. Why did I get blessed?
Oh, Jason, don't kill her.
So I rewatched Sinister the other night for the first time in years, and I made a post about like mid-watch that it's good. It's still not like a great film. I don't love it like a lot of people do, but then like the last half of the movie, I enjoyed this a lot more than I ever have on this rewatch. I'm going to do a video one day this week on that and Sinister 2 because I threw Sinister 2 on afterwards, which I remember hating. It was terrible. I actually even enjoyed that a little more despite having a lot of issues. Okay. That's a series I would like to see them revisit at some point and do something new and kind of different with because the whole character of Bagul and stuff and the lore behind him is great.
Oh, it's a great
I'd love to see them go back. Yeah, I'd love to see them go back and do not a reboot, but like maybe a direct sequel to. Well, it's pretty direct to sequel already to the first one.
Yeah,
well, some type of new take on that whole Sinister idea.
Yeah,
no, the score is great. The score I remember from seeing in the theater because it's by some electronic group. I forget who they are, but yeah, that's like some of the best parts of the movie is the score that kicks in. And when they're moving out of the house, here's the nitrogen Just the way she screams when she gets her head pushed in, and then it frees. That's such a great touch.
Bye, baby. Love you.
Goodbye.
Oh,
But
she's
yeah,
still.
Bagul looks great. The whole lore with him is awesome with the children and Ethan Hawke. I'm hit or miss with. I think he does great in Sinister though, and
Oh,
his
Sinister.
wife too. I forget who plays his wife, but she does a great job too. Like there's some
Yeah.
good argument scenes between them. But I enjoyed it more than I ever have on
Oh,
this
Sinister.
watch.
Sinister for me is a solid horror movie for me.
Yeah, like I used to just put it as like an average mainstream horror. It's definitely an above average for at least mainstream horror movies, like a
Yeah,
Blumhouse production or something at the time, especially for early 2010s. It's a
yeah,
good movie. Like I
yeah,
had a lot more enjoyment out of it this time,
yeah. I think the
and
only
even the,
part.
even the sequel, well, I had a little bit of, even though it is a mess.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the only part of the first one I didn't really like them. I'm not a big fan of the ending of the first one.
Really,
Um,
that's what I love. That's what I like almost
I'm
most
just not.
about it.
I like
I
the
love
whole.
I love how brutal the ending is.
Yeah, I'm not
Dark.
I'm not a big fan of it.
It's a very dark, grim ending. Non happy for everyone
Oh
involved.
yeah, massively. But
And yeah,
the whole kind of build up to that, and I love them like the tape, like the reels that he has to watch and stuff like that. Like I
yeah,
just
this is great.
so
Tapes
well,
look great.
and that jump scare with the lawnmower man, fucking, I will never forget that. Never.
Yeah, that's like one of the best parts of the movie too. That scene, the
Yeah,
whole scene, and I read up on it that Ethan Hawke, that's his like actual reactions because they filmed the Super 8 scenes, the kill snuff films, and he didn't see any of it until they
yeah,
shot that scene. So he was
yeah.
watching it for the first time, and that was his actual reactions watching these tapes and shit.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
But what a perfect way to do that though as well. It's
yeah, no, yeah, to get the actual genuine scare
like
like that.
yeah, have the actor there legit watching it and just film him and then just use his like reactions. Perfect.
No, it was a great idea. The nipple twist, it's all fun and games until someone asks you to put on a blonde wig, smoke a cigar, and say, now that. It's time to tap out at that point. Yeah, there's definitely a line. Everyone has a different one, but that
I
would
take
be
it.
mine. That would be on my list too.
I take it. Mac Jackson's from the UK then, because I got that reference.
Yeah, I didn't. The
That's
nipples sound like coins hitting the floor. Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is good in it too. All his scenes with the
yeah.
lore and stuff is great.
I remember watching the second one, and I wasn't keen on the second one.
James Ranzone, that's who it is, right? Who plays the sheriff, so and so. He's
Yeah,
like most of the second movie for me.
yeah, yeah,
Is him. Like I like his performance a lot. In the
yeah,
first movie too, I like him. He's just like that
yeah.
awkward deputy stuff, but like since he's the main character, really, with what's her name, Shannon. I always forget her name. Sounds like
Oh,
some type of liquor or something, like
uh,
Shoma, Susama, like something like that. It's with Ness. I know that.
yeah, yeah.
She's
She was in
gorgeous.
like A Knight's Tale, wasn't she?
Yeah,
As
yeah,
well.
she's in a Knight's Tale. Yep. I
Yeah,
always forget her name, but she's good in it. The story is just weird into, and I feel like they could have went in a definitely a total different direction for that second movie and did a lot better.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
Ireland, awesome. I am half Irish. I've been to Ireland twice. I love Ireland.
Love it, mate. Love it.
Oh, yeah, I love Ireland. I love that kill there. The fucking when he gets stabbed and the blood shoots back on her face.
Yeah,
That's funny.
he's just right there. Yeah. Bye.
I think Zodiac, you might be right that this has his most kills in it. Jason's kills.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
It's either this or it's not Jason Goes to Hell, I know, but Jason Goes to Hell has a pretty high body count too.
Oh, I
I mean,
just
if
want.
you even want to argue it's Jason and shit, like
I don't even think of Jason Goes to Hell as canon at all, mate. I just don't
yeah,
even.
I enjoy it. It's definitely a good just body horror movie with cool effects. If you take out all the Jason stuff and all the Voorhees references and everything like that. What's up, Ninja? Ginger Ninja in the house.
How's it going, buddy? You're right, mate.
He's in the house. We're in space.
We are in space.
We
We're
are
in
in space
space.
currently. I should have put a space background behind me, like just stars and nebulas and shit.
We're in space with Chucky, Pinhead, Machete, Jason.
Leprechaun. Actually, since we have St. Patty's Day coming, I want to, but I don't want to get sucked into the franchise. That's what's going to happen. Is if I do Leprechaun, then I'm going to end up being stuck in the Leprechaun series for the next month and a half, 2 months. And I've never seen past like the third or fourth one. I think the third one. I've never
I
seen Leprechaun Goes to Space.
I have
I don't remember it.
I have not seen a Leprechaun movie at all.
Really.
No.
The first one is fun. It has Jennifer Aniston, who's looking fine in her first movie. And then the second one is good. The third one is like in a casino in Vegas, I think, and I vaguely, barely remember that. And I think that's pretty sure. Pretty sure
Right.
that's the last one I ever saw. And then there's like 8 more, 7 more, or something.
Isn't there like a Leprechaun in the Hood? One.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. There's Leprechaun in the Hood, and then there's Leprechaun back in the Hood. So he goes to the Hood after space, and then he goes back to the Hood for some reason because he has unfinished business, I guess.
That's where Jason should have gone.
Unless, yeah, right, Jason in
To
the
the
Hood.
Hood. Jason in the Hood.
But we got the whole Killjoy full moon movies with Killjoy the clown. That's like in the Hood, pretty much. Well, those CGI kills, they don't look good at all. I mean,
No, mate.
not good. And like the only reason this is even in here is for 2 more kills.
Yeah.
This whole simulation thing. Have you seen, Dave? I talked to a few people. I put in the chat thing also. The mannequin movie, the Don't Look Away from last year. That's
No?
another video that's coming soon. It's not a good movie. it's on Tubi, so you wouldn't be able to see it unless you find it on like Look Movie or somewhere else.
You always got to bring up Tubi, haven't you?
I know, it's always Tubi.
You got to stick it in and twist it, haven't you?
Just for the premise alone, it's interesting and entertaining. It's a killer mannequin that stalks a bunch of a girl and her friends and kills them one by one. And if you look at it, it can't move, but if you look away from it, it moves every time you look away.
That's creepy.
Just for that premise alone, it was very entertaining. It's not a good movie though. Like the acting is the writing is atrocious at points. But it was fun. It was fun.
So the only way this mannequin moves if you don't look at it.
Yes. So if you stare at it, it won't move. But they break that rule like so many times in this movie. There's times they're staring right at it and it still moves for some reason, but like it's still entertaining. Like maybe I was just in the right mood when I saw it.
I was just going to say, if it was me in the movie, I'd be staring at that mannequin fucking constantly.
Yeah, you just sit in the corner where there's no other entrances and just stare.
And while you're staring at it, go up to it and beat the living fuck out of it.
Yeah, and then just keep staring at it and then get up, beat it up, but treat it like a little training thing, like those dummy mannequins that you fucking hit and train at. Just take them. And yeah, I've been telling him this forever. You said you get a VPN, you can watch Tubi.
I take it on.
That goes like an extension VPN for the browser, and then you should be able to. You can connect to a different. You can connect to an IP address in the States.
Okay.
And watch Tubi. That's how Jason does it. That's how Garrett's been doing it for like a year now. So you got options. You got Tubi up somehow. Tubi is obtainable.
Oh, I'm useless when it comes.
You just gotta want it. You gotta want it enough.
Oh, mate. When it comes to computers and stuff like that, like seriously, mate, I am useless. Just that. I'm like old school. I'm just old.
See when they show those girls right side by side, they look mad similar.
Yes, they do.
That's why I always confuse them. But it's the one of them that gets sucked through the window that's hot as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Killer Mannequin and Don't Look Away. And I thought it was based off a short, but it seems that the short is totally separate from that movie. But there is a short titled the same thing, Don't Look Away, from 2017. And it has the
Right.
same idea. Like it's literally like a 9-minute short. Like it's mad short.
Right.
And it's just this woman looking, but it's not a mannequin. It's like just some creepy dude. And she's staring at him. And like the dad says, don't look away. I'll be home soon. And then like it's the same thing. If you look away, then it moves and shit. So
Right.
I thought it was related, but apparently it's not. Like it's just a totally different movie. So I guess maybe they took that idea. But as a mannequin, it's still a cool idea. Like a
Yeah.
slasher mannequin that like moves around, like a supernatural mannequin. So if you're looking for like a fun bad movie, like that's a good one.
Oh, always.
The guy playing Brodsky is in Spartacus. Oh, nice. I never got big into Spartacus. It's not US. Yeah, I know. There's so much shit on Tubi. It's insane. Just the horror, and then they even have now. They keep adding more and more categories when you browse by category. They keep adding more and more horror related stuff, which is awesome. Like now they have by decade, so they got 70s horror, and they're the same for comedy also. I think 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s horror categories. They have giallo and Italian horror. They have slashers as some category, and foreign horror, I think, or something like that, or Japanese horror, maybe it is. But yeah, they have all its own their own little categories on Tubi now,
Right.
which makes it hard as shit to pick something to watch. Are you serious? There's so much stuff now to choose from that. That's why sometimes I'll be looking and I'll be like, all right, man, yeah, this is a good one. And I'll say like early in the day, maybe I'll watch this tonight. Then that time comes, and then like I'm looking at like a million other things popping around. I'm like, oh, but this one's like kind of good too. I'm in the mood maybe for that. And then I can never pick what to watch for like an hour, and that becomes a Tubi recommendation video. Yeah, that's right. They have a found footage category also. I love it how they flip the character around from the TV series Andromeda. The android and Jason. Oh, there's an android in that movie too. Andromeda. She's a lead actress, and the android Andromeda is the lead actress in Jason X.
Oh, okay.
I never saw Andromeda.
Me neither.
First, I was thinking Andromeda Strain, the older movie based off the Michael Crichton book. A guy who also wrote Jurassic Park and Lost World. And, Westworld. That guy's written so many great stories. Michael Crichton.
Yeah.
There's a few authors that I want to do videos on, like movie adaptations of their work. Philip K. Dick is one of them, like with The Scanner Darkly and The Man in the Electric Castle. Those are some of them that I want to do by him. Same with Chuck Palahniuk, has some awesome novels, and Hunter S. Thompson. I've been saying I want to do Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas for a long while now. That's a favorite of mine. Now they're trying to hunt Jason, and they're never gonna do it. Yeah, Scanner Darkly would be the first one, for sure, that I do by Dick, because I absolutely adore that movie. That's actually one of the few movies I still own on DVD. That's the physical media I own. I have a Scanner Darkly. That movie is excellent. The book is excellent. Have you ever seen that, Dave?
I haven't, mate. No.
It's a good movie. It's Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., Winona Ryder. There's a great cast, and Woody Harrelson. There's more I'm forgetting too, but like it's all in rotoscope animation. So like they filmed it in live action, then they spent like most of the post production with like 50 artists like doing artist work and making it look like an animated, half animated type movie to make it look like the effects that in the story, the drug that it's centered around has on people.
Yeah.
So it has this just tripped out looking cartoonish look to it. It's awesome. Great movie, great story. Yeah, he's all Robert Downey Jr. is great in that. They were all great. And what's Cochran? Rory Cochran is in it too. He's great. He's
Robert
the
Downey
father.
Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is a fantastic actor, man. He always has
Oh
been.
yeah, and he's been through some shit too. He had a lot of career lows, career highs, career lows with the drugs,
Yeah.
the rehab, and he bounces back every fucking time
Every
and
time.
gets like even bigger than before.
Every time.
Which
He's like
not a lot of actors and stuff and actresses could say that, like that
no.
had those type of issues and stuff, and had
He's,
lows where your careers almost ended,
yeah.
and then bounced back even better before multiple times.
Yeah. He's a proper like inspirational story. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
other than that, with him as well is he's just got talent that Hollywood couldn't ignore though as well. Even with his,
he's such a great actor.
It's the same as like it's well, it's not the same thing, but like it's the same as like kind of Mel Gibson, kind of like as much as he fucked up, you know, he still gets kind of not welcomed back, but he's never been completely shunned because his talent.
He's never been completely kicked out of the spotlight. Totally, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because he's just got too much talent, you know.
Yeah.
It's
John Travolta too. I mean, didn't have the same type of problem, but like he's been in and out of the spotlight, and they had different rejuvenations of his career too.
yeah. So, yeah, I think Robert Downey Jr. is just—he's an exceptional.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
and then you got Woody Harrelson in that movie too. He's another just a phenomenal actor. Keanu Reeves, I wouldn't call him a phenomenal actor. Keanu Reeves is a good actor. I've never been a huge fan of his, but Winona Ryder's in it. She's a fantastic actress. Like the cast is great in that film.
Keanu Reeves is good at what he does.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's good at playing the roles he plays.
Yeah,
like in being Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
he doesn't have a lot of range as an actor.
No.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I actually want to grab the Scanner Darkly book and look at it for a second.
Well, that's Jason just been shot to shit. I wouldn't go over to him. Doesn't matter if he's on a hook. You haven't got him. You haven't got him. Doesn't matter if you shoot his legs as well. He's still just gonna, fuck you up and walk away. Here he is. Just pulls himself off. Yeah. See ya. Never turn your back to Jason. Oh, here's a good idea. Just never be near him anyway. Don't bring him on the ship. The Briggs is dead. Stop talking to Briggs.
All right. I don't know why I said electric castle, man in the electric castle. It's high castle. I was thinking of electric sheep. Scanner Darkly, though. I don't know if you'll see it with the background.
Not really. Well, ish.
Oh, yeah, ish. It doesn't help. It's the same fucking color as the background. But his man in the high castle is a great one, too.
Yeah,
Chuck Palahniuk is the author of Fight Club, which I would love to do a video on Fight Club because he's written some crazy fucking other books. This fucking book, Snuff, by the same guy, basically a book about like 300 people waiting in a room to gangbang this woman, this like porn star. Like that's the fucking like premise of the book. And a little plug for Ginger since he just did a little 60-second review. John dies at the end. Amazing movie and book, which I love that movie. I did a video like a year ago on it. Such an underrated movie, and good to see Ginger bringing attention to it also, because that movie is not talked about a lot at all. That is a very underrated Don Coscarelli film.
But that's the whole. That's the
Yeah,
whole.
the book is definitely worth reading, Ginger. They leave out like a whole section of the book for the movie, which still makes it, the movie still flows fine without it. It's just like a whole, it's kind of like a whole subplot, so you wouldn't know it's missing or feel like it's missing since it is missing in the movie. So it's not something you'd notice like this feels unfinished, but it's like its own little whole section and like lore of this shadow people and stuff like that. And then they had a sequel for that book. This book is full of spiders, and I think they made more after that. That's the last one that I remember. I never read that one, the sequel. But another great title, like John dies at the end, and then the sequel. This book is full of spiders. Great names. Yeah, it's one trip of a movie, and a fun, fucking entertaining movie too. It flies by every time. That's my favorite role that Chase Williamson has done. I mean, he's been in a decent amount of things. It Follows as the boyfriend,
Yeah.
and Siren that they made off the VHS segment, which is still my favorite segment in the VHS movies. He's in a decent amount of things. Victor Crowley's in the boyfriend. He plays a lot of boyfriends, apparently. But I think, yeah, him in that movie is in John Dies at the End. That's his best performance. And Paul Giamatti is in it. He's just fantastic in everything. Yeah, they crashed this spaceship into a fucking space station, like 10 times the size, and yet they destroy the space station, but the spaceship is fine. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Who wrote this part of the script? Where can I throw the grenade? That's some stupid fucking writing.
I mean, he bashed into it.
I know later on they say that the core is fucked up on the ship or something because of the collision, but like that's it. That's all the damage. They blew up a space station. But yet the ship is fine until the plot needs it not to be.
That's because Jason's on the ship and not on the space station. Otherwise, it would have been the other way around.
I know, right? The spaceship would be fucked and the space station would be intact and fine. But that makes more sense now. It's a space station that many spaceships, I'm sure, park on and land on. So it's much bigger. You would think it's a lot more sound of a structure, but it's not. So we get that dumb shit. He's in Dawn of the Dead remake, which is a great remake.
Yeah.
Diary of the Dead, which I do enjoy. Diary also. And yes, the meat cleaver zombie in Land of the Dead. I keep saying, because they've been coming up more and more in chats or just like talks with people, I got to go back and do the latter trilogy by Romero, the last 3 Dead films, because I did the original Dead trilogy. I need to do Land and Diary and Survival, which Survival I haven't seen maybe since it came out, maybe one time after that. I don't remember anything. The Diary I just watched again like under a year ago, sometime last year, and I really enjoyed it. And Land I enjoy. I don't remember that one too much either. It's been years. But those are definitely 3 that are worth going back to and revisiting.
Yeah, I definitely need to give like Land of the Dead a rewatch. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's been years for Land. And Survival, I don't remember, like I said, at all. That's pretty much everyone's least favorite that I've talked to over the years. Like everyone does not like Survival.
But I've not seen that one. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like the worst one.
That's like I watched that one.
Yeah, like right here is before I finish saying it. I had a Diary of Solid Films. Yeah, that's the consensus you'll find. Survival is just nah.
You know, I win.
Maybe on a rewatch, maybe it'll hit on some level. Who knows?
We spoke about this before, but I wasn't a massive fan of Diary of the Dead. But you've told me to actually give it another go and just give it another rewatch.
Yeah, that's because when I rewatched it last year, I really kind of enjoyed it more than I did the previous time that I saw it. And I don't know how long it was. Probably years and years before that I saw it, before that rewatch. But I really enjoyed it more on that last watch for sure.
I'll give it another go.
I mean, that's a good idea. Max says best way to watch The Later Dead is watch Diary, Survival, and end with Land. Probably works that way just better because land is just so much better in every way than survival. So at least you're not ending on like a downer note, like with the worst movie. Because I forget if they link those movies together later on. I'm pretty sure they don't, just like the earlier trilogy, because in each of them, The Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, they're not in the same universe. Like
I don't think
they're
they are.
they're like alternate universe or parallel like universe story. Like in Night, we see a zombie, outbreak very, very early on.
Yeah,
And Ben and them at the farmhouse, they're dealing with like the very beginnings of it happening, like when they're just starting to raise from their graves and eat people. Then in
yeah,
Dawn, it's a little more extensive, the outbreak, and like there's a lot more people that are turned to zombies, and we see a lot more in the mall. Then in Day, it's just 400,000 to 1. This is the
yep,
number from zombies to humans. So I mean,
yeah,
it's like almost near like full blown like humanity's over by the
yeah.
time of Day of the Dead. But I never saw them as connected in the same universe in the same outbreak. Like
Neither did I.
they're each their own separate story. Even though they do have like you see the biker Tom Savini's character in Land of the Dead, I think, right? Like you see reoccurring zombies, but I think those are just little cute homages rather
Yeah,
than like Romero trying to say that they're
yeah.
linked together.
I was the same as you, mate. I always seen the Dead movies as their own separate thing.
Yeah,
Like the
like it's just like this is what's happened on in this movie. This is what happened, like
I just
in
yeah,
in history, quote unquote. In this movie,
yeah,
this is what happened.
yeah. I don't think they're connected or whatever. I just think it's just kind of different scenarios at different stages of a zombie apocalypse, if you know what I mean. So he just goes through like different kind of what would happen with this, what would happen with this, what
Yeah,
would happen with
and
this.
seeing
I don't
in
think
that
it's all
in those possibilities what like where in that timeline we are of the zombie
exactly.
outbreak, like how far
It's like
into
I
it
don't
we
even yeah, it's like I don't even think like I think Land of the Dead is its own thing. You know, I don't
are.
like it's not connected to like Day of the Dead or I just think
Yeah,
it's just different the different kind of scenarios in that
yeah.
world that he's
If we
playing.
were at the beginning, what would it look like, Night of the
Yeah,
Living Dead? If we were a little further in and there were still survivors out there,
yeah,
we'd be at dawn would be the scenario. If
yeah,
humanity was completely like Day is what we get.
yeah.
Diary and Survival apparently are linked by the main character in Survival being in Diary as a cameo of the soldiers that robbed the film crew. Okay, so
All
there
right.
might be a link there between Diary and
Yeah,
Survival. Okay, so Diary was a soft reboot connected technically to the original three. Uh,
there you go then.
that makes
Yeah,
sense. I mean,
yeah.
Diary does feel like distinctly its own movie. I mean, a lot of that is the found footage style of it,
I need to
but
rewatch it. I need to stick it back on and watch it. I didn't like it when I first watched it. I've got to be honest with you, but I need to give it another go.
yeah, I think a lot of that is just when it came out. I think a lot of people didn't like. A lot of people got on the hating it bandwagon just because of the found footage style.
Yeah,
Because around that time, that it was too much. Like there was just too much found footage movies and stuff going
well, that's
on. It was
when like
becoming
he kind
way
of
too saturated.
yeah. If that was when like kind of fucking paranormal activity was becoming popular
Yeah,
and like it
exactly.
was
Yep,
like
like the
jumping
late
on
two
people's
thousands,
cars.
early 2010s, we got
Yeah,
flooded with the found footage, with the paranormal activity, and I like a decent amount of found footage. I say that all the
yeah.
time. I've covered a lot.
I
It
don't
just
you
has
know
to be it has to be a good movie, like it just like any genre, and
I don't hate
that's
found
a big
footage.
reason though.
Yeah. I don't hate found footage movies, mate. You know, for
Yeah.
me, when it's come to me generally being a bit uneasy and being a little bit scared, found footage has done that for me.
Oh, yeah. I think it does it very effectively when it works, when it's
Yeah,
done well.
massively, especially with horror. I mean, it works perfect for horror. Perfect.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It puts you right in their shoes.
Yeah.
And when it's
Like,
done well, like, I remember that was a question I asked, when I had an early interview I had when I had the Monster Project director on, Victor Matthew, 'cause that's a movie that you can do in any real style. It's if you haven't anyone hasn't seen the Monster Project, check that movie out. It's if one of those found footage movies that there's no slow, there's nothing going on, there's just talking and shit. No, like this movie, like from the half hour mark, once it gets like kicks off, it's just relentless, action packed till the fucking end of the movie. And I
Right.
said to him, it's just this guy puts out an ad for on like Craigslist for real monsters to respond, and he gets responses from a vampire, a skinwalker, werewolf, and
Okay.
a possessed girl.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that could work in any style. You didn't have to do it in
Yeah.
found footage. And that was my question to him. And he's like, a lot of people tried talking me out of doing it the found footage way because that was when found footage was getting like too saturated.
Yeah.
But he said like he just loves the genre, and that was just the way that he always saw it in his mind. So I said, hey, that's fine. Like you could see it if that's like your genre and that's what works for you. Then I could see it
Yeah.
working that way. But you could have done that movie. He could have done it in any style he wanted. And I think it was a bold move to do Diary of the Dead in a found footage style, especially like because that's shifting heavily from all the previous Romero movies.
Mm.
Yeah, Horror in the High Desert's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, what do you think of Minerva? I don't know if you did a video. If you did, I missed it on the sequel.
Horror in the
Is
High
that
Desert. I haven't seen
yeah?
that. What's
Horror in the High Desert is it's like you ever see Lake Mungo?
Do you know what, mate? No, but I'll tell you something, right? That has been requested for me
Yeah,
more than any
it's a
movie
good one.
since I've started my channel. Believe it or not.
Really? Yeah, you should give that one a shot. It's very realistic documentary wise. It's like a faux documentary, like a mockumentary, kind of like the first Hell House. How
Yeah.
like they're kind of telling a documentary. It feels like that, but this is like the whole movie for both of these, for Lake Mungo and Horror in the High Desert. They're in that same mockumentary style. Like it's like you're
Okay.
watching actual true crime like
Yeah.
documentary. They nail it in both of these movies, but Lake Mungo especially has just some of the most like realistic acting for a fake documentary that I've ever seen in a horror movie. Like
Okay.
you put that on for most people and don't put it in the background and don't say it's a horror movie, people would start to think it's an actual documentary on Lifetime or like on some channel because
It's that good.
that's how it feels. It has the feel
Yeah.
so close to an actual documentary. And then there's like paranormal stuff going on and other mysteries and shit. But Horror in the High Desert's the same way. It's like this guy who he's a hiker and like a survivalist, and he goes into the Nevada desert and disappears. So then the whole documentary, quote unquote, is telling what happened to him, the investigation into it, and seeing footage of his from like his recovered footage and trying
Yeah.
to figure out the exact what happened to this guy. Great movie, great found footage movie. And yes, Lake Mungo is an Aussie movie, and it's
Yes,
great.
I believe so.
And it's
No,
on Tubi. It's on Tubi, Dave.
weirdly enough, mate, it's on Shudder for us, so it's all right. It's there.
That VPN keeps calling your name.
It does, doesn't it, mate? It does.
Oh yeah, it
No,
should be
Lake
on
Mungo.
Shudder. Yeah, I know that he's working
Seriously,
on.
though.
I know he's working on the second or the third and fourth movie he's working on, or he was working on simultaneously. Horror in the High Desert 3 and 4. I
Oh,
spoke to
okay.
the director last year briefly, so I know was working on 3 and 4 simultaneously. They should be done at this point because that was a while back. But the second one, Horror in the High Desert 2, Minerva, came out last year, and it kind of ties into the story of the first one, but it tells like a different mystery for most of it, then leaves breadcrumbs that tie it to the disappearance of the guy in the desert from the first movie. And then like the third and fourth movie are gonna like really tie them together and like go further into it.
Oh, here she goes. She takes the ship.
I
She
can't believe
fucks it
this
up.
girl. Yeah, she doesn't know how to like drive it or anything, right? Or fly it. Because she like literally hits a button or two and she blows up. Right here.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right. Doesn't she ram it into the ship a little bit? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then fucking this ship's still going, by the way. This ship is
Oh
stronger
yeah,
than
yeah.
the space station.
It is. It's still no issues.
Well, Late Mungo
Yeah,
it will happen.
yeah. Let that you got to do it for the fans, man. Think of the children.
Make the children.
God damn, think of the children.
Mate, it's been my most requested. Seriously, I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not. I could see it though because that movie's been getting a lot more love every year.
yeah,
Because I didn't see it when it came out in what 2008, I think 2007, 2008. I didn't see it till maybe a few years after that. But I've been praising that movie ever since. And actually, Mike Flanagan, the director Mike Flanagan, loves that movie and talked
Is it
about it on that
scary?
show. It's eerie. I say it's eerie just because of like the realistic documentary feel to it, and
Right.
then like the paranormal stuff that gets introduced, and like, is this a paranormal incident? Is this not? It's then it goes into some other stuff. It's more eerie. The vibe from it is very eerie.
Well, the thing is, will I sleep with the light on that night? Because I don't like getting scared. Like, believe it or not.
I don't know. It depends what makes you sleep with the light on.
Yeah.
The fact this movie came out the same year as Halloween Resurrection is just crazy. They really made both Michael and Jason look like clowns. What's up, Bryson? Yeah, that's funny. This
Oh,
came out the same year. And we
I
were
would,
saying earlier, we
I
can't
would,
believe how old these movies
I,
are already. That these are
I
20
would,
plus year movies.
I would argue this as well, though, mate, is that Jason does not look like a clown in this one compared to fucking Michael Myers in that movie.
No,
At
yeah,
all.
Michael, I think is worse.
Yeah,
Like I
massively.
can have fun with this movie. I can't have fun with Resurrection, really. Like even though it's as stupid as the kung fu shit is, it's still not like funny for me. Like I can't watch it and enjoy it.
It's terrible. It's like Jason's getting fucked up now by the fuck bot, as you
Yeah, the
called it.
robot. Yeah, the fuck bot. Yes. I mean, look at the positions she can go into, and look at the crazy maneuvers. You know,
Yeah.
he built her to fuck her. Come on, let's not like lie to anybody.
Ah. I mean, Jason's getting his fucking ass kicked at the moment.
Until what's his name comes up, stabs him. That does nothing. Yeah, she didn't seem like she had it under control though. So she should be more thankful that guy like popped up and helped her a bit.
Yeah. Oh well, she does now. Fucking just shot his arm off. That's gone.
Yeah, Mac, I was just talking about that the other day on a stream to somebody. I forget who, maybe I think it was Larry at the Horror Cat Dad. Yeah, it's a great documentary. I had no idea about that whole incident he had until I watched that. Like that
When
gave
he
me
was
a
a
whole
stuntman.
new yeah, do you ever see Hell and Back, the Kane Hodder story? That documentary on Kane Hodder?
I haven't seen the documentary, but I know about his story with his burn marks and everything that he got as a stuntman.
Yeah, he did. He
About
had
that, yeah.
a burn stunt that he did when he was very, very young, like
Yeah.
into his career, and he almost died. Like he had to go in the hospital for like 6+ months, and the where he wasn't like prepared or like built for or like designed to help people with burn like severe burn marks or anything like that. They had to move him somewhere else after a whole bunch of months. He almost died. Like, and he still went on to do more fire stunts and shit, which is
Yeah.
crazy to
Well, that's
me.
what
Like I
makes
would
it
never
more.
light my
Yeah.
ass on fire again after that if something went wrong. But it's a
Yeah.
great documentary. It really shows a
Oh,
lot of
absolutely.
into Kane
That's what.
Hodder that like you might not
Absolutely.
know.
Yeah. That's what makes it more impressive when he does this fire stunt in part 7. Bearing
Yeah,
what he
no, yeah,
went through, and then he actually did that. It's like fair play to the man for like because that was one of the
oh yeah,
longest times
fire.
I saw him
Yeah,
do
someone was lit on fire. I think right, wasn't that
fire.
one of, if not the longest at the time, maybe.
I don't know whether it's still the longest, but it was at one point
I think
for a
yeah,
while.
at the time, I think it was
Yeah,
one of, or if not the longest, someone was on fire.
and it's a fantastic stunt as well.
Oh yeah. Now, yeah, now is when the collision fucking comes up. That there's an issue from the collision with the space station.
Oh, just now?
Oh, really? Just now? Yeah, exactly. Now, just happened to happen now. They crashed into that space station like a half hour ago. Oh, I don't want to see my girl die here. Yeah, I mean, early 2000s in general wasn't the best. You really had to like go through under the mainstream movies. Yeah, The Ring. I like the Ring remake. I always have. I don't like it. I like Ringu better. Like Ringu's in my top films of all time. But I saw the Ring remake much younger and earlier when it came out, pretty much, and I was young when I saw that. much before I saw Ringu.
I think the Ring, the American remake is actually it's good, to be honest. Like it's
I think
actually
it's great. I think it's a great remake. I think it's one of the best Japanese horror remakes for sure.
I think it's up there as well
I
with
don't think you can find too many that
I thought The Grudge was a very good remake as well.
I see. That's one I don't care for as much compared to the
Oh
original. Like I loved you on The Grudge, the Japanese one. The remake, I
yeah,
don't care for.
I don't
But
mind it.
it's not bad. It's not like awful.
Yeah.
I think the original is just so much creepier in every single way.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to deny that one.
Sarah Jessica Parker is all right. I never really cared much for her.
You mean
Oh,
Sarah Michelle Gellar? You mean?
yeah. Jessica Parker. I'm thinking of Moose Woman. Moose Woman. I will
Well, the thing,
never. I can never look at her as anything else because of South Park. South Park has an episode where they dress her up like a moose and she gets shot by a hunter and killed, and they
seen that
blame
one.
it on Butters. And ever since I saw that episode when it premiered, I can't look at Sarah Jessica Parker as anything but a moose, like at all.
Oh, see, I've seen that one. No,
It's
I
so
was
funny. Yeah, I don't like her at all.
I was
She's
a
just
I was
Moose
I
Woman.
was a big fan of Sarah Michelle Gellar when I was younger, mate. I was such a huge
But
Buffy.
I liked her with, like Buffy. Yeah, like Buffy
Loved
was
it.
fine. I don't really care for her in like in movies because I'm not a fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer, so I don't care for her in that. And really, like a lot of her horror films, like
Yeah,
it's all right.
I
She's fine.
know because you're not a fan of Scream, aren't you? So you won't like Scream 2 and all that.
Nah, yeah, that's right. She's in Scream too.
Yeah. Oh God, here we go. Jason
Sarah just has a face like a foot. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes. Thank you, Jason.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's when we get the little nanotechnology make our
It's all swerving up, man.
Uber Jason. See,
I
that
would
doesn't look bad.
I would give anything for Necker to do a fucking Uber Jason. He would be right there, mate.
They
Right
haven't
there.
done one, or they haven't done an Uber
No,
Jason? That's
they haven't done
surprising.
a new Jason. As far as I know, they
Hmm,
haven't done like a normal Jason from Jason X or an Uber Jason.
they
As
shouldn't.
far as
They
I know.
definitely should.
They definitely haven't done a Jason from Part 8 neither, which I would have, by the way. I would have them
Yeah.
now. So I've got all the
Sorry.
other ones.
Yeah, I know. You got most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember Dark World? Yeah, the original, you mean, right?
That was the one with Jennifer Connelly.
That was also Hideo Nakata, right? Or am I thinking of One Last Call? I think it's Dark Water with Hideo Nakata. But yeah, that's a great one
Oh,
too.
Jennifer Connelly, I think. Dark Water,
One
I
Last
think.
Call's a great Japanese horror. Pulse is another awesome one.
Yeah, yeah.
Takashi Miike's Audition. Everybody that's at least heard of that, let alone seen it. But if they haven't seen for some reason Audition by Takashi Miike, check that movie out.
Look how badass Uber Jason is, though, mate. There's no fucking way
I
you're
know
gonna
it's such a great look.
It's
Yeah,
so
you never
cool.
want to fuck with Jason in the first place, especially
No,
Uber Jason. How he looked, Professor. What's up, buddy?
how you doing, pal?
Greetings and salutations to you as well.
I mean, Jason's been scary and badass in every movie, but this fucking version of him, fuck that. Like, nope.
Yeah, maybe it's a different company did because he said maybe McFarlane Toys did a new.
It,
Hey Nate, how you doing, brother?
if they
Yeah,
did,
we're
man,
having fun with
I'm gonna try and find that and buy it because I would love one.
it. That was Comedy 64. Computers did a great job. Commodore 64. Indeed, Nate. Always good to see you, buddy.
Boom. That's Jason out in space.
The Scooby Doo movie was better than both Jason X and I wouldn't put. I'd put Jason X better. Halloween Resurrection. No, I can't stand that movie.
Oh, it's fucking awful. It's awful.
It hurts as a Halloween fan, and as someone whose first horror movie was Halloween, John Carpenter's, and it's my third favorite movie of all time. It hurts to not like most of the series. like, like I'll always have a soft spot for 1 through 6, maybe even H2O a little, because those are the ones 1 through 6 are the ones I grew up with, and
I
then
didn't.
H2O was the first that
Yeah,
came out when I was like already a huge horror fan and Halloween fan.
yeah.
That was when H2O came out. Everything after that, like, you can keep it all except for
Yeah.
Zombies H2. I love, which is very unpopular,
I have
and
a.
that's
I
about
have a
it.
like. I have a bit of a soft spot for H2O because that was the first Halloween movie I watched at the cinema was H2O.
Yeah, I didn't see it at the cinema, but same type of thing. I was like the first
Yeah,
movie that came out that altered the movies I knew, and like they were getting a new
yeah,
Halloween like in theaters.
yeah. I remember just going to watch H2O and I was like, "There, God, I must
There's
have been like,
still a few things in that movie I can give props to in H2O, but I mean, Kevin Williamson rewriting a whole bunch of it, that has a huge part to do with the script for me, and he's the whole reason we got the bullshit in Resurrection about the paramedic getting switched into Michael's mask, and that's the guy who got decapitated. That was all Williamson who wrote all that.
I know, yeah, I know. It was very, you could tell Halloween H2O was very inspired with kind of like Scream.
Oh, by
You could
Scream,
tell
yeah,
it, you know.
absolutely. Oh,
Uh,
here's my girl about to be killed, yo. I don't like this.
it's about to be sucked through. This sucks
There's
out
not
so
even there's not even like good usable parts left or anything like. It's just like completely gone. I don't like that.
So that's a great line.
Hey, you guys just watched H2O a couple hours ago. Nice. I do like it's one big prop I always give H2O is the way that they handle Laurie's trauma and stuff compared to Halloween 2018 in the recent trilogy. So much better. The way that she shows her grief and not grief, but like her trauma of dealing with Michael back then, and that she's borderline alcoholic and she's seeing him in the glass reflections and stuff. All of that is handled so much better in H2O than anything in the last few movies. Oh, any day. Yeah. Let's make that clear. I'd take that any day
You know what, man?
over Ed. Resurrection. I'd throw that shit in. I'd throw that shit on right now to avoid watching it again.
I said that on the last stream I was on. This literally, this
Or Ed,
literally,
those pills. I'm with you.
this literally came up, and I was like, I hate Resurrection with a passion. But I said, but
Yep.
I'll tell you something. I would happily watch Resurrection over fucking Halloween Ends any day of the week.
Oh, absolutely. Same. Or
Halloween
Kills, or maybe 2018 I can deal with. I can deal with 2018. There is
I
some
like
decent stuff.
I really enjoyed
I
2018.
don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like any of the newer ones, the trilogy at all. David Gordon Green should go back to comedies and shit.
I like the thing is though, I did enjoy 2018. Overall, I did enjoy it. I liked it. I weren't a big fan of Kills, but I'll tell you what Halloween Ends did for me was appreciate fucking Halloween Kills a lot more.
Yeah, well, there's a few good things in it. Like most movies, I can pick out a few things, and
Yeah.
the scene in Kills with Donald Pleasance, with him CGI in there, and that the whole way they did that and stuff, it came out really good. The way that looks is they did a fucking a good job with all of that.
I think so.
Really, that's an unpopular opinion because Psycho 2 for me is one of the greatest sequels ever made.
I'm sorry, I completely disagree with you. I respect your opinion, but I completely Psycho 2 is fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, it's one of the greatest sequels, not just horror sequels. I put sequels of all time.
I think it's better than the original.
I'd argue that I wouldn't go that far, but props to you. I'd argue though that Perkins' performance in Psycho 2 is better than in the original. Perkins' performance as Norman is just unreal in Psycho 2.
I'm not a big fan of Psycho, the original. I respect the movie, but I'm not like a huge
Yeah,
fan
I
of it.
know people that aren't huge on Psycho.
Yeah. But I think Psycho 2 is fucking. Do you know what? I think it's absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh yeah. I mean, if there's any way that you were going to do a sequel to a legendary film, a genre movie-changing film, like
Yeah.
of all cinema, that movie changed everything. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's writing is great. The directing's great. Meg Tilly's great.
It's,
Even
it's
Psycho 3 is good to an extent. It's nowhere near the first two.
Psycho
Psycho 3 is
3 went
enjoyable.
into. Yeah, but it went into the kind of the 80s slasher kind of thing. It went into that more.
Yeah. I mean, you see a little bit of that in Psycho 2, just like with the teenagers sneaking into the fruit
Yeah,
cellar and getting killed, but it still fits the story. Like
yeah, it
they
does.
do try to pigeonhole more of the slasher stuff into 3, but it's still good.
Oh,
Professor, I just looked at Professor's thing and said Professor instead of Psycho.
oh,
Psycho 4 is even Psycho 4 I could watch. Like it's watchable. You got CCH Pounder, which it's good to
it's,
see her in anything really. She's always fun.
Psycho's. Hang on, let me get this right because I've got a tiny little story about Psycho. Is Psycho 4 the
Yeah,
beginning, the one with Henry
yeah.
Thomas?
When he's
Right.
yeah, and
So
CCH
I've
Pound,
got a
black
little.
woman with the show, the radio show, and he's calling in Norman, recounting like his life and history.
Right. I've got a tiny story about that. So
Yeah,
when
go
I
ahead.
was when I was an extra on I Captured the Castle, Henry Thomas was one of the actors in this movie, right?
Yeah,
So when I got to, he's a lovely bloke, by the way, like one of the nicest fucking guys I've ever spoke to, seriously. And I was talking to
yeah,
him about stuff, and it was weird because a week before I got on set with him, that was on TV, and I actually watched it for the first time with Psycho 4 the beginning, and I told him that as well. I said, last week I watched Psycho 4 the beginning. It was on ITV for us in the UK and stuff. And he looked at me and he just went, "Let's not talk about that movie," and started laughing at me. And I went, "Yeah, all right, fair enough." So I don't think he likes it himself. But yeah,
release the mutilator too. We
release the.
gotta just to see how terrible it is, I guess.
Well, it's got to
Because
come out eventually, or does it?
yeah, because my sources on that were I mentioned it before. I didn't want to mention it in the video and stuff, but it's
Yeah.
directly from actors involved and in the movie that don't want that movie to even see the light of day. That it's so terrible. So I mean, you got people in the film that are like, I don't want this movie ever coming out. I'll
Could
be
it
so
be?
embarrassed.
Could
I'm
it be?
sure Terry Kaiser is one of them. Because Terry Kaiser from Friday 7 weekend, Birdie for Weekend of Birdies, he's in it. So I'm sure he's one of the ones who also doesn't want that movie being seen by anybody.
That's a culture.
Very much. It's Huffy Puffy blowing out a window. Ricky Martin microwave. We missed this whole machete line, right? Because I think it's stupid as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say we have many, especially me. I have many unpopular opinions when it comes to horror movies, especially sequels for some reason. Like Texas Chainsaw 2 is my favorite in the series. Sleepaway Camp 2 is my favorite in the series. Slumber Party Massacre 2 is my favorite in the series. Psycho 2, I don't like over Psycho, but it's one of the greatest sequels for me. But a lot of sequels that I put over the original. Freddy's Revenge, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is my favorite in the series. Something with me with part twos seem to 50% maybe or so of the time beat out the original, and even if it's just enjoyment factor. Like, I'm not saying that Texas Chainsaw 2 is a better film or better made film than the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
I still
but
need to watch part two of that. You know, mate.
you've never
I've
seen
never.
Texas Chainsaw Part 2?
No,
Dude, what the fuck are we doing next Friday? Because that's it. If if you're free, that's the next movie.
mate. I will. Do you want me to do part two with you next Friday?
Yeah, sure. You want to do it?
I'm in. I'll do it.
All right,
We
let's
have
do
to
it.
be, unfortunately, though, we have to be a bit earlier for me than fucking midnight. So we'll have to go a bit earlier.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care what
If
time
you
it
don't
is.
mind. But I'll happily do part two with you.
And see, like this, like what Bryson just commented here. This is the best part. This is why I do this shit. This is why a lot of us do. It's just 'cause the
Yeah,
differing opinions. It just makes
absolutely.
it interesting. We
Yeah,
have him here. He hates Psycho 2, which to me is preposterous, but he also thinks 2 is a masterpiece, Texas Chainsaw, which I agree. Like, and it's just great that it would be so boring if everyone loved the
okay.
same shit. It really
Well,
would, because there would be no. And actually, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have gotten the idea to do Texas Chainsaw 2 next Friday if it wasn't for Bryson. So
thank you.
thank you, Bryson,
So, you
because
want,
that
you want,
this
you
topic
want,
led to that movie coming up.
you want to leave it for me to be a first watch then? I won't watch it beforehand. Like, I will just
Yeah,
watch it.
yeah. Let it be a first watch. Yeah, yeah, dude. I'm shocked too.
No, I haven't. I know. I know.
I'm
I know.
shocked you haven't seen it.
I know.
A movie you do or made all the love and passion your favorite movie deserves. Which
Ooh,
sequel
what
would
a
it get?
great
All right, that's a
question.
good question because that's a good. Like what I always say with remakes, I think they should stop remaking classics and remake movies that didn't do well because they either had a good premise and it just bombed in execution or at the box office or both, and take those older movies and remake those. Like, and I always say Piranha 3D because I think that's a great example of how to take a premise of Killer Piranha, which is not an original premise, but Dante's original movie I don't care for. You don't, and it's limited by what they could do back then. You want to kill a piranha, flying all over the place, eating, tearing the shit out of everybody. And that's exactly what we got with 3D, with Alexander Aja's remake. And I think that's a perfect example of a remake done right. Take a movie that's not a classic, stop fucking with our Exorcists and Halloweens and all those things, which they won't, but take movies that weren't pulled off well, but had a good idea or two there, and take those, make it a fucking movie, remake that. But if I had to like really like think of one, I mean, The Burning is a slasher that I feel that sucks. We never got a sequel to The Burning.
I'm not a
And
not a
since the
big
movie ended, I'll throw this in real quick. The whole thing with the black dude in space
yeah,
catching Jason in the air and knocking him off
yeah,
course is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Just to throw that in there for the record. That is so fucking stupid. Are you kidding
yeah.
me? He catches Jason midway and just they float off into Earth 2 or something. I don't know. That's so dumb. None of that ever worked for me. That guy just comes and catches him like it's a football and just like continues alters the
Yeah,
course. They're supposed to be floating in space. But the burning too, if it was made with the same love and shit as the original Burning, I could
I'm not
maybe
a big fan of
see
it.
down
You
for
know,
that.
I thought the Burning was okay at best. I've got to be honest.
That's an awesome double feature. Texas Chainsaw 2 and Bride of Reanimator. That's cool. I got to see Texas Chainsaw 2 and 3 back to back on 16 millimeter in a theater near me that plays older horror movies pretty occasionally, like pretty often. I also saw Blood Rage and Black Christmas back to back at that
Oh,
same
cool,
theater,
man.
which was awesome. Of course, Zodiac.
Oh, you're welcome.
Tomorrow morning is the first South Park Saturday. So we're gonna be just hanging out, watching a few South Park episodes, like Saturday morning cartoon style. Hey Phil, how you
And
doing,
now,
buddy?
all of a sudden, next Friday we've got Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 watch party.
Yeah, so now we have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 watch party. We have CJ Graham finally making his appearance. On Tuesday, the 18th at
Oh, that's
8
cool.
p.m. He profusely apologizes to everybody, the fans, and he said he wrote like 3 extra reminders and stuff. So we will have Jason making his grand entrance on the channel for
That'll
real
be
this time.
for real.
For real this time. And yeah, they did Cropsy in the burning. I mean, they killed him, yeah, but
Yeah.
they find a way to do more, and they have used Cropsy, which is probably yeah, exactly what you said. There is a movie I think just called Cropsy, but it would be awesome to have a sequel to The Burning, which is one that we just never got. Yet Friday the 13th, we have 13 fucking movies going on a series and shit. That's just one slasher I feel we it's a
Yeah.
crime we didn't get. Maybe not a crime, but it's a shock that we didn't get a sequel to The Burning.
It's
I'm trying to think of other
fucking
ones.
cancer,
Like
man.
my head's in like 80 slasher mode, so I'm thinking
Yeah. I'm
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 like
really I'm really trying to think of kind of like a horror sequel because they're so fucking rare, man. Like a horror sequel we didn't get, but kind of
and a lot of them, like a lot of the standalone slashers from the 80s that I love, I wouldn't really care for a sequel to. Like
no.
Intruder from '89 is a favorite of
Oh,
mine.
I have
I,
one. I
I
have
don't
one.
know about a sequel for it though. What's yours?
I've got one, mate, but it's if you watch the director's, not the movie that was released, but the director's cut of this movie, I would
Okay.
love equal to that. Is Nightbreed.
That's one I haven't seen in a long while. I'd have to rewatch especially the director's cut.
What's the director's cut, mate? It's so much different, and it's fucking brilliant.
No problem, Phil. Yeah, that's been one I've been meaning to rewatch
It's
because
it's a
I haven't
it's a
seen
really
Nightbreed
good movie.
forever. And
Yeah.
Clive Barker just isn't. I don't know. We just never really jives with me, except for Candyman. Like Candyman is the only Clive Barker
What about
related.
Hellraiser? Did Hellraiser not?
I'm not a big Hellraiser fan. I mean, I've only seen the first three. I never went
Yes.
past that. I do like the first two. I can watch them and enjoy them, but they're still not favorites. They're not movies
Yeah,
I throw on occasionally at all. And even though randomly I did throw on the first Hellraiser like a few months back for some reason, and I enjoy it like I always do.
yeah.
And I enjoyed the remake from a few years ago. What, 2 years ago? The
Well, the
Hulu
remake
remake.
was
For
brilliant.
someone who's not a big Hellraiser fan, Mike's the same way. Mike isn't a big
Yeah.
Hellraiser
Yeah.
fan at the first two movies either. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed that remake for what it was. But the
Yeah.
first, like, I'm not big into Clive Barker, like for some reason. But the Candyman is a masterpiece. Like, it's my
Yeah.
19th favorite movie. Three, I have a whole video on all the Texas Chainsaw movies. Well, multiple, videos on all of them. But three, it's good, but it's not memorable to me. There's not enough that happens in three for me to like enjoy it like fully. Ken Forey's great as always,
Mm.
and I like the lead chick. I forget her name. There's just too much nothing happening in the dark woods for like long stretches of time. Like later on, and they try to recreate the dinner scene like they do in every sequel in
Well,
Texas
yeah.
Chainsaw. But the girl who's in also Friday 7, who plays young Tina, she's the creepy girl in Texas Chainsaw 3 with the creepy ass skeleton doll and
Oh,
makes talk and stuff. Same girl, and she's pretty creepy.
people.
I combined creepy and people
That is
into creeple. So that's now a new word.
that's all we're now. Creeple.
Yes, Kate Hodge. Jason, thank you. That's her name. But yeah, it is a very forgettable movie. I just don't. It's not a bad film. I can never say it's a bad movie, a bad sequel. It's just, and I like the dark approach it took. I like the darker feel to it. It has a
Yeah.
very dark atmosphere, which is what I think is the best thing it has going for it. Besides that, like it's just a movie I watch. I say, all right, and then just I forget about it until I watch it again. Like I forget 90% of the stuff that happens in Texas Chainsaw 3. It's not really another series of mine. Like past
Yeah.
two, the only ones I love, I think the remake is one of the best slasher remakes, like pretty much ever, especially of all the mainstream, like the main slashers we have:
Oh, the
Jason,
Texas Chainsaw. Yeah.
Freddy,
Yeah.
uh, Chucky. I mean, you got a reboot too. Of all the slasher like Leviathan remakes, Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw 03, I think is excellent, and
Yes.
I
It's the
watch it
best.
more often than the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Which doesn't
Yeah.
mean I like it more than the original. I think it's better than the original, but I do watch it more often, which says something about how much I enjoy that film. The
Yeah.
beginning is all right. 3D is a fucking train wreck. Remember my whole rant video on that fucking movie. Then the same with 2022. It was a train wreck too. Leatherface was a train wreck also. Like all my videos on the later ones are just rants, pretty much. I mean, all of them are not good. I don't like any of the later ones. So I mean, I hope we get maybe that's just a series that should end. Another one like after another like Scream. Now everyone's happy. I guess that Kevin Williamson is now coming back with what's her name? The lead bitch, Nev Campbell. I don't know. I couldn't think of a name. So she's coming back for 7, and Kevin Williamson's directing it. That's like the newest Scream news. Everyone's going nuts about. All right, cool. Can we like end it? Like make it the last one. That'll be a banger to go out with, right? Like have Williamson direct, have her back, and then just end this shit because I am so sick of seeing Scream notifications 3 times a day everywhere. What's up,
Oh,
Johnny?
do you know what, mate? I've just thought.
I goes it fuck Scream.
Good man. Go. I've just thought of something from a past question. No, they were asking us for sequels to movies that we would like to.
Yeah.
I've just thought of one. You know, you talk about Kevin Williamson and fucking Scream and all that shit. I've just
Yeah.
The Faculty. I would love to see a sequel to The Faculty.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, that's the only like Williamson movie I love.
Yeah.
So I can see a sequel to that.
Yeah.
I mean, the pretty much the sky's the limit. Like when it comes to story,
Exactly.
I mean, they can pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because it ends. Yeah, it ended with just the queen was destroyed, the aliens are gone, and then everything went back to normal, and people knew about what happened, kind of, and he was kind of popular because of it. So yeah, they can go anywhere.
Yeah,
like story wise from there.
I'd love that.
That's a good idea because yeah, that's the only movie that Williamson has anything to do with that I love, and I really don't even think he wrote that movie nowadays. Like I serious, there's like a whole speculation on that he stole a lot of the premise from a favorite writer of his. So like, I believe that over him writing it because that movie's too good for Kevin Williamson.
JT, when are you going to ask Kevin Williamson to have an interview?
Yeah, to come on the channel. Yeah, no time, anytime that you can have a picture. It would be like time has to not be a thing, and it like doesn't work the way it does in our physical realm, and then maybe you still wouldn't get anywhere near 1 billion years close to men when I'd ask him on. But you never know. Maybe I'll have him on this year. Maybe I'll ask him. You never know. I would talk to him. I'd talk to anybody. Just put him in front of me, plop him there. Like,
just
plop Kevin Williamson right in front of the camera in front of me. I'll talk.
And then just after him,
I mean, I'll never deny as much as I joke about how much I hate Scream and stuff. I do, yeah. I don't hate it. I despise it mostly, like the property. But I can't deny that Kevin Williamson has brought a lot to the horror genre over the years.
And then
so I can you can plop him there.
I'll plop him there. And then just after him, I'll plop the director of Skinamarink right after him. Bang, there you go.
Yeah, you know, it was hilarious. After I did that Skinamarink too, I talked to him or in a DM like months ago, and I said right to him, I said, you know, like, I don't really care for your movie at all, but like, if you ever want to come on and talk, and I'm always looking at people on and shit. And he said, he's like, yeah, he's like, if I have time, like. So then when I did that Skinamarink 2 mock trailer, I tagged him in it.
Fuck.
Because I figured, why not? Either he has a good sense of humor about himself or he doesn't.
All right. Did he get back to you?
No. But there was never like, I'll get back to you thing. So it was like, I figured, well, I had to talk with him once, told him I didn't like his movie. Might as well tag him in this parody of it. And just did that. So, I'm guessing the answer would be no if you saw that. Like,
was that the Skinamarink Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah. Skinamarink, I do Electric Boogaloo. and
It's
then I have
so
a whole like long ass description with his picture there. Saying that he wrote it like based on a dream he had or some shit of like filming shit for minutes ad nauseum. So I'm sure if he saw it, he'd come right on.
oh
He would want to be here immediately. Plop Phil on too. We got plop Phil in.
yeah.
We're gonna plop everyone. Everyone's gonna get a plop. Everyone's gonna get a plop thrown on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. That's actually a thought I had. If you ever saw that, would be like, well, hey, he went out. He actually filmed around his house, like my movie. So I put effort in. So all right, there's a little flattery there. See, Kevin Edward Ball, we love you here at JT's Horror Discussions. But all right, guys, this was fun. This is a fun rewatch. Always a blast, Dave. And now we have an idea for a movie for next week, Texas Chainsaw 2,
Well,
which for some reason unknown to God and all of us, Dave has never seen before.
It's just, you know what, mate? It's just something that's just, I've never been like, and I said this, I think when I mentioned, I'm sure I mentioned this when I reviewed the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's just never been a franchise I've like really kind of, into kind of thing. As much as I respect the first movie, and I do, and it's a damn good film, and I like the remake a lot. I think the remake great. I've just never jumped into the sequels of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We all got those series and stuff that we never jumped into. Like I said, Leprechaun movies past 3, Hellraiser past 3, up until I started the channel, Puppet Master past 3, which I want to kill my old self just for going through all that. Fucking 15 movies and spin-offs and shit. That was awful. I even remember I said a while back, maybe I'll like take the best of those videos and put them all together as a suffering clip. I started it and I got through to the second video, and that was before the terrible films came in. And I said, I'm not doing this. I had it all put in the editing software, the clips, everything, and I was like, I'm not doing it. It's going to take a while, and it's not worth it for the Puppet Master of all series. So that I scrapped that idea right away. Dave and JT are hosting a premiere screen 7 with Kevin Williamson. All right, let's do it.
We'll do it.
Let's get Kevin Williamson on. A watch party for Flesh Eater, Revenge of the Living Dead. I almost read Return of the Living Dead. And there's a classic franchise that I'm never big into, that I know just in this chat, I know there are huge fans of Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
That's a movie that I never cared for the original and never cared for. I've seen the first 2. I know that. I might have seen the 3. I'm pretty sure I might have, because I know the VHS cover very well. But I don't remember it. And then I never saw the newer ones, which I hear very, very mixed things on.
Oh, yeah.
Never. It's not that I dislike Return of the Living Dead. It's just a movie that, exactly. They are fun. I just kind of prefer my zombies. It's scarier movies.
I've seen the
scary zombies.
Yeah, I've seen the first one. I like the first one. Like, I like it. I don't love it as much as what a lot of like horror fans do.
But that's how I feel about it.
I do like it. I'm in the minority on this one, mate. I prefer part 2 more than the original, because it leads.
I know some people who like 2 or even 3 the best out of all 3 of them.
Oh, that's the thing as well. I like it. It leans more into the comedy in part 2, which I quite like, because it just suits it for that kind of movie.
Like for zombie horror comedies, they're so hit or miss for me. But I think like Shaun of the Dead is like the pinnacle of that. Like I think Shaun of the Dead is like the best horror comedy when it comes to zombies. That movie is just brilliant.
I'm like that with.
I know you're iffy. I know you're iffy on it on Shaun.
Yeah, but
I never cared for the other films in the trilogy. Right? There's the Hot Fuzz, and then there's another one.
I love Hot Fuzz.
See, I never got into those. The sequel, they're not even sequels. The same. Yeah. They're looped together kind of as a trilogy, but they're not a trilogy. Yeah. But that's the one. Yeah, I know. Trust me, it's done already. His life's too short. I know. I have a whole playlist. I put all my videos my playlist. I have like 100
The thing
playlists
is, though,
going. Like
mate.
director of franchise. I didn't see
Yeah,
past 3. I said, let's do Puppet Master. Each
yeah.
video, you could see me suffering worse and worse than the movie before it. There was 1 or 2 I didn't even get out of bed. I said, "You think I'm getting out of bed for fucking Puppet Master 9? You're out of your mind." I just laid down, chilling in bed, watching the movie, filming it. I was like, "There's no way." It was so bad. Everyone worse and worse. There was no like higher ups movie or anything really. The Littlest
I
Reich was all right. That was like maybe the like a little bit of saving grace because of the and actually, I've been waiting for someone to bring it up because I'm not going to. I've never been a fan of The Crow. I'm not a Crow. I don't have anything against it. Just never liked The Crow. Never been a fan of it. So I could care less about any of the Crow stuff. Like, go either way. There's no care in the world about the trailer, the new movie, the old movies, the old series, any of it. Oh yeah, absolutely, Phil. I'll be up. But yeah, the Crow, because I see mad people. I know you did one, Dave. So check out if you are a Crow fan. Check out Crow theater trailer reaction over on Dave's because yeah, the Crow is just. I mean, tragic story behind what happened. I don't even remember the actor's name. Who played the Crow?
Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee. That's it. Fucking that sucks. What happened to him with the loaded gun? That's fucking tragic. But I've never been a Crow fan. I couldn't even tell you the last time I saw that movie. Day of the Dead is the greatest horror of the 80s. There, I said, you don't have to take that back around here. We just did a watch party of that, last
I
week or
knew
2
what
weeks
drew
ago?
you.
It's a favorite of both of ours. It's my fifth favorite movie of all time, and I put it as my second favorite movie ending of all time recently
Yeah.
in the best movie ending list. Day of
Mac,
the Dead has always been my favorite Dead film.
yeah. Mac, just go back, mate, and watch our
Yeah, we
watch.
had that's one of the few ones that Dave saw. Because usually we watch some blind watches here that Dave hasn't seen yet, and we said let's
Exactly.
watch one that we have that much love for from both of us, and Day of the Dead was that one.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and that's why in my intros you see so many clips to fucking Day of the Dead and all my
Yeah.
other favorite horror movies.
Yeah.
Love the OG Crow movie, fan of the graphic novel too in the comics. I also enjoyed 3 of the 3 sequels. Nice. Yeah, it's just one of those movies that just never clicked for me at all. I watched it maybe twice in my life, The Crow.
Yeah.
And it's been all right. I don't even remember anything from those movies. Maybe it's time I rewatched The Crow. Just to say I rewatched it. I said that last night, about Fulci's Don't Torture Duckling. Because I've tried watching that movie 3 times. And as a big Fulci fan, I feel fucking pissed and weird that it hasn't clicked with me because it's a favorite among Fulci fans
Yeah.
and considered one of his best movies. And I just can't get into it the last 3 times I tried watching it. So last night I said, all right, tonight's the night. Tonight's the night, no distraction, nothing. I'm just going to watch it and it's going to play out. And then this will be my final thoughts on it. And then I started thinking of the mutilator, and then I put that video together quick and stuff, and then I just put something else on. So last night was not the night for Don't Torture a Duckling, but there's gonna come the night soon that I have to finally just watch it with no distractions and just try to have it click. And if not, it just doesn't. Not. Oh yeah, that was another idea because I almost read that as Wicker Man. We got to do the
Ah.
Wicker Man remake at some point in the future as a terrible movie. Yeah, we got to. Yo, you dragged my ass into Velocipaster. So, yeah, we're going to do fucking the remake to Wicker Man at some point, just from how terrible that film is. So,
Oh,
we'll leave you with that terrible news. The
I knew I
Wicker
was gonna
Man
pick the
2005,
Velociraptor.
6? That shit is sometime in the near future on our schedule.
Okay.
What's going on your channel this weekend, Dave, for everybody?
Oh, mate. Oh, what have I got going on? So yes. So I've got my Five Nights at Freddy's review coming out. I probably won't have it out today. It'll probably be the next day.
Cool.
The way I've kind of planned it out. But yeah, I've got that next. I will have my Army of Darkness review out because I'm still in the middle of my Evil
Yes,
Dead
that's right.
review.
You get the Army next.
So I'll have Army of Darkness next after that, and then the way it's probably going to fall, mate, I will probably have Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire after that. And
Okay.
so yeah, I'm looking forward to all that.
Nice. I didn't even know there's another. That's a new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's out in like
They,
a week
they
or
got a
2 weeks.
lot of fucking Ghostbusters, man. I'm not even a huge fan of the original Ghostbusters. It's fun. I love it. I don't watch it often at all. So
Oh,
I never saw the reboot. I never saw any of these newer Ghostbuster
I
anything.
love Ghostbusters, mate. It's such a nostalgic thing for me as an 80s
Yeah, I
child.
watched it a lot when I was younger.
Yeah,
When the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is iconic, all of that is great. Like the cast is phenomenal. I mean, it's
yeah.
a classic for sure. That's why I haven't watched any of the remake and the newer things. I don't want it tainting my memories of like that I don't even have great huge memories
Watch.
for, but
I
the
will say
memories
this.
I do have.
Yeah, watch Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think you'll enjoy it.
Which one is that?
It's the last one that came out.
The
Afterlife. It
last
came out like a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, what's
Nice.
that one?
Yeah, I gotta check that out. So what am I doing this weekend? Yeah, tomorrow. So we have South Park tomorrow, 10 a.m. So we're gonna. I already put the episode list, the 4 episodes that we'll be watching. So 10 a.m. to noon. Tomorrow night is nothing. All right, it's good. So I'll get a video or two out tomorrow. Next video is coming. The killer mannequin. Don't look away. Jurassic World. We're entering now into the world part of the series since we concluded with the great Jurassic Park 3 last.
Yeah.
And Pumpkinhead will be another one that was chosen by some of you. Pumpkinhead will be another one. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the series and doing the sequels right away after that because I don't even remember if I've seen all the sequels to Pumpkinhead. But that's coming and a few others. And then we have Tuesday interview with CJ Graham and other random movies throughout the week. So that's what's going on Dave's channel. That's what's going on over here. And everybody, thanks for hanging out for the stream. Thanks for coming to space with us. We have returned safely. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody. Dave.